I'm begging you to just take the tweets and the TikTok, like, just clean break. You can,
He only feels bad because he got caught. Not once did he say, "I am sorry, Haley." So telling of his character. Another one said, "He's so pathetic, OMG." Well, this guy's managed to get to the wrong side of the internet for all the worst reasons. He cheated on multiple partners with multiple people, lied about his identity, said he didn't care about what people thought, only to go crawling back to his ex. In today's video, we'll break it all down for you. So buckle in tight and stay with us till the end if you want to know the entire tea. Let's start with who exactly is Hansumfella? How did he get so popular? How did he manage to hide these many lies while live streaming to thousands of people? If you've been scrolling through TikTok or tuning in on Twitch, there's a good chance you've seen this guy, cracking bizarre jokes, flashing a confident smirk, and holding court over Minecraft chaos and Omegle madness.
Welcome back to another installment of Talking to Strangers.
That's Hansumfella. On the surface, he's the funny gamer guy, the one who always seems to have a quick one-liner, a wild reaction, or some weird story that ends in laughter. He's revealed very little about his personal life on the internet. However, after a whole bunch of digging and a long Reddit information hunt, we figured out that he's from Florence, Alabama. According to famous birthdays, he was born on January 15th, 2000, which means that he's currently 25 years old. His About section reads, TikTok star, content creator, and Twitch streamer best known for posting Minecraft-related gaming content. He shares commentary on different topics while playing the game. His videos often include compilations of jokes he makes while gaming. According to his page, he started posting in September 2022. His name is Tyler, and he has a sister named Grace. For those of you who don't know him already, he is huge, especially on YouTube and Twitch. His YouTube channel has 537,000 followers. His rise to popularity came fast. A few viral clips of him making off-the-wall jokes on Omegle, some solid Minecraft and craft-style gameplay with edgy commentary, and suddenly, his TikTok and Twitch accounts were blowing up. Fans were drawn to his boldness, his unpredictable reactions, and his ability to turn even the most awkward online encounter into something entertaining. He also runs a pretty active Discord server, where fans gather to chat, post memes, and, well, idolize him. His community tends to lean young, impressionable, and very online, the kind of audience that thrives on parasocial relationships. At first glance, Hansumfella comes across as your typical edgy internet funny guy. He's got the quick wit, the meme timing, and the confidence of someone who knows exactly what plays well on the algorithm. But once you peel back that screen persona, there's a growing list of X's and receipts that paint a much uglier picture, one that's harder to laugh at. Besides being a streamer, Hansumfella is now also known for something else entirely: cheating on multiple partners. Most importantly, he's also friends with relationship disaster Johnny Gilbert. You can also check his video that we made on our channel. But before we dive headfirst into the relationship scandals and receipts, we need to talk about a smaller controversy that, in our opinion, got blown way out of proportion: his real name. If you've followed Hansumfella on social media, you might know that he goes by Tyler. His Instagram handle is even Tyler, reinforcing that name as part of his online persona. But the internet sleuths eventually dug up what they claimed was his real name, Ian. And to be fair, they weren't wrong. Hansumfella himself admitted on a live stream that his real name is, in fact, Ian. He said that when he started posting online, he had a regular day job and didn't want his social media content affecting his employment. So he used a different name.
And in the theme of full transparency, my name is not Tyler. My name is Ian. You might have seen that floating around somewhere, so I just wanted to get out in front of that one. Name is Ian. That is my name. Had a pseudo fake name to, protect myself when I worked a job and privacy and all that.
And honestly, that makes total sense. The internet can be a weird, invasive place, and protecting your identity, especially in the early stages of going viral, is nothing new. Tons of creators have done it. Still plenty do. It's not some big scandal. But for Hansumfella, this revelation sparked a wave of backlash. People started accusing him of being fake, of lying about everything, just because he hid his name and may have fudged it up a little. Now, whether that reaction was because of the name thing or because of the cheating allegations that were already gaining traction, it's hard to say. But what is clear is that the moment his personal life started crumbling, the internet was quick to pile on, and even the smallest details became ammunition. However, things really went downhill when an old video of his ex-girlfriend started circulating on the internet. In this video, the girl was hysterical and calling out Hansumfella for cheating on her.
I found out that my boyfriend of 2 years has been making fake accounts to talk to other women and other creators and flirt with them and cheat on me.
As you can see, this isn't the same girl who we showed you at the beginning of this video. This person is actually another one of his ex-girlfriends who cheated on him years before Haley Sharp, who is also a TikTok creator and an influencer. Haley Sharp also posted this video on her TikTok, talking about how her boyfriend broke up with her during the commercial break of Drag Race that they'd been watching. She called herself the strongest woman in the world because she survived such a heartbreaking ordeal.
TikTok gets banned. 20 minutes later, I'm being broken up with during the commercial break of the Drag Race we were watching. And then 12 hours later, TikTok comes back and then he leaves. Do you guys have any idea? Like, do you guys ever think about how I'm the strongest woman in the world? I was just thinking about this. I am the strongest woman in the world.
Honestly, the way she's talking about it is low-key funny. However, you can very clearly see that she didn't mention Hansumfella's name in this initial video. In our opinion, what really made the Hansumfella cheating scandal explode the way it did was the timing. This wasn't just one person coming forward. It was a full-on domino effect that started when two separate incidents hit social media at nearly the same time, and both went viral. First, there was this video posted by Haley Sharp. Yes, the same Haley Sharp who's well known in TikTok circles and isn't new to internet drama herself. Her video was vague, but it hit hard. She didn't mention Hansumfella by name, but the implications were clear, and fans started connecting the dots almost instantly. The context, the timeline, the subtle hints, it all pointed back to him. Around the exact same time, a second video surfaced from a completely anonymous TikTok account. Even though it was a much older video and reposted by someone else, this one wasn't subtle. It was a direct call-out from someone claiming to be one of Hansumfella's ex-girlfriends. In the clip, she shared screenshots, dates, and emotional confessions, painting a picture of someone who had been cheated on, gaslit, and ultimately discarded. With both videos dropping within days of each other, TikTok did what TikTok does best. It went full detective mode. Fans began cross-referencing details, digging through old streams, resurfacing comments, and stitching together timelines. The overlap in stories was undeniable. Different people, same patterns. And just like that, Hansumfella went from funny internet guy with edgy humor to public enemy #1 in the TikTok streaming world. Which brings us back to the recent drama with Haley Sharp. After Haley Sharp posted that initial cryptic video, it quickly became clear she wasn't finished. Haley wasn't the type to stay silent, and she definitely wasn't about to let Hansumfella walk away from the situation untouched. Over the next few days, she posted multiple videos where she opened up more and more about her breakup. And while she didn't explicitly say his name out loud, she made it very obvious who she was talking about. In fact, she added Hansumfella's hashtag in her video, basically confirming to everyone that the person she was dragging through the mud was, without a doubt, him. Through emotional TikToks and pointed comments, Haley painted the picture of a relationship filled with betrayal and lies. Her videos struck a nerve, not just with her followers, but with the wider TikTok community, who were already primed to believe the worst after the other cheating allegations started surfacing.
If there's anything we can learn from this, never date an influencer. That's the lesson that we've learned. And
after her initial post, where she touched briefly on the TikTok ban and her breakup, Haley didn't stay cryptic for long. She followed up with another video, and this time, she got a lot more direct about what really went down between her and Hansumfella. Haley revealed to her audience that her boyfriend, yes, Hansumfella, didn't just break up with her. He'd actually been texting other girls behind her back, and not just any random time. According to Haley, this was happening on his birthday, while she was literally at his house celebrating with him.
because I just found out that, my boyfriend who broke up with me last week was also cheating on me, messaging a 19-year-old girl. He's 25.
To make this situation even more questionable, The girl he was allegedly texting wasn't just some random creator his own age. She was a 19-year-old. The timeline, the context, and the betrayal, it all painted a much uglier picture of their relationship than fans originally thought.
Was also cheating on me, messaging a 19-year-old girl, he's 25, while I was staying at his house for his birthday.
Now here's where things get even messier. Apparently, there were other girls also who were claiming that Hansumfella slid into their DMs, and they had no idea that he was already someone. This girl posted a TikTok captioned, "Going celibate 2025 because I just found out that the famous streamer who was texting me had a girlfriend the whole time." Now, since the video didn't mention a name, we're not really sure who she was talking about. However, from the comments section alone, it seems to be about Hansumfella. We still don't know for sure who the 19-year-old girl Hansumfella was texting actually is. Haley never dropped a name, and Hansumfella definitely wasn't about to confess it himself. However, that didn't stop the internet from doing what it does best, speculating. Not long after Haley and Hansumfella's breakup became public, a few names started floating around. One TikTok creator in particular, someone by the username @Rizzy5791, caught a lot of attention. Rizzy seems to match the description almost perfectly. She's believed to be around 19 years old, and more importantly, there is an actual video of her with Hansumfella floating around on her TikTok account. Now, whether Rizzy was actually the girl he was texting that night, or whether it was someone else entirely, at the end of the day, it doesn't change the core of the situation. After all, it's not technically illegal for a 20-something guy to text a 19-year-old. What's really raising eyebrows here is not only the age gap, it's the timing and betrayal. Hansumfella wasn't just messaging other girls behind Haley's back, he was doing it on his birthday, while Haley was literally in his house celebrating with him. And honestly, that's the real gut punch. No matter which way you spin it, cheating's cheating. And doing it in that situation shows a level of disrespect that's hard to justify. But here's where the conversation takes a turn. Being a bad boyfriend? Yeah, no question about it. But does being a bad boyfriend automatically make you a bad person or a bad content creator? That's the debate that's been ripping through Hansumfella's fan bases ever since these allegations hit. We're going to talk in detail about what his fans think about this situation later on in the video. For now, let's go back where we were. One thing about Haley Sharp and her relationship with Hansumfella that we'd like to mention here is that they haven't been together for a very long time. In our opinion, one thing that often gets overlooked when talking about Haley Sharp and Hansumfella's relationship is just how short it actually was. From everything we've been able to gather, it seems like they had only been dating for less than 2 months by the time the breakup happened. Yup, it was that quick. In fact, a lot of their fans didn't even know they were together at all. Their relationship had been kept pretty low-key, with very little public interaction or announcements. So when news broke, not only that they had split, but how it went down, most fans were caught completely off guard. And to be honest, the cheating allegations made the situation feel way messier than just a casual, short-term fling ending. Even though their relationship was brief, the way it ended and the way the drama exploded made it feel like we were watching the fallout of a much longer, much more serious relationship. A Reddit user posted about this thing, saying, "I didn't even know she was dating anyone, and if she's not LA-based, I'll delete, but apparently she was with Hansumfella. I swear I feel vindicated because a while back, I saw one of his exes post about a similar situation, but her TikTok was weirdly defensive of him and putting herself down for being ugly. It was so odd." Another user commented on the post saying, "I'm so glad she's not being quiet about it. That video of his ex, Tiara, defending him was so weird. I feel like he manipulated her into believing he did nothing wrong, LOL. Something is off about him." Now, if you don't understand what this commenter's talking about, don't worry, we'll explain everything. Remember that ex-girlfriend from a couple years ago who popped up with screenshots, photos, and receipts calling Hansumfella out? Well, her name is Tiara, and her part in this whole story is what really sent the internet into a confused frenzy. Tiara originally posted her video way back in July of 2023, but it didn't stay up for long. In fact, she deleted it pretty quickly after posting. For a while, it seemed like that chapter had quietly closed, until another TikTok user reposted the original video, and suddenly it started blowing up. People started digging again, speculating, and calling Hansumfella out all over again. Only this time, the allegations weren't just from Haley, they were now coming from multiple directions. After the repost went viral, Tiara came back online and made a response video, basically addressing the resurfaced drama. But her tone wasn't exactly what you might expect. Instead of doubling down or exposing more details, Tiara actually asks people to stop sharing it.
I don't know why it was reposted. I didn't want it reposted. I even took it down after 15 minutes after I even posted it the first time because I no longer wanted it up. I don't even know why it was screen recorded. But I do take accountability for even posting that, and I completely regret my decision in doing so. But the reason I say I don't know why it was reposted is because of how old it is. I was young. I was acting out of emotion. Me and that person laugh about that video to this day. And honestly, no one even knows what happened in that video or after that video or between us because it's a personal matter. Me and the person that I'm talking about in that video are grown now. We have moved past it. I was clearly young in that video. You can hear it in my voice. You can see it in my face. We just are trying to let everything go. Like, we literally hate that it was reposted for both of us. The person that I made that video about shouldn't receive any hate or anything. That was a video of me reacting out of emotion, and it was posted and it was deleted for good reason.
She even seemed indirectly to defend Hansumfella, or at the very least take the heat off him, saying that it was all in the past. It was a bit confusing for a lot of viewers. On one hand, she was the one who first called him out with evidence, but on the other hand, she now seemed more focused on protecting her own peace, and maybe even his image, rather than getting justice or setting the record straight. At the same time, though, and we have to be honest here, Tiara isn't exactly wrong either. She posted that video and later chose to delete it, and that was her decision to make. In her follow-up video, she explained that what happened between her and Hansumfella was a private matter, something that had been sorted out long ago between the two of them. And truthfully, she has a point. Not everything that goes on in someone's personal life is meant for the internet. Sometimes people go through messy relationships, make mistakes, reconcile, move on, and they do it away from the public eye, as they should. But this is the internet, and the truth is, when you're a public figure, especially one with a fan base, a platform, and influence, the line between public and private starts to blur very quickly. People dig, people speculate, people don't forget. Old scandals resurface, past relationships get dissected, and even something as simple as a deleted video can become front-page drama if enough people decide it matters. And in Hansumfella's case, it wasn't just one situation, it was several stories from different people surfacing all at once. So while we can understand Tiara's desire for privacy and closure, we can also see why people latched onto her video when it came back around. Anyways, coming back to Hansumfella, if you think he didn't have anything to say about this, you are mistaken. He addressed the video during a live stream. His defense was that the video was posted a long time ago, and it was deleted for a good reason.
I want to clarify, this is not like a recent thing. This was last year, more than a year ago. So July of 2023 was when this video was posted. We're not in each other's lives anymore. This is like an old thing. I've seen some stuff saying it's like recent. So that's the first thing.
He also said that he and his ex, that is Tiara, had been in a complicated relationship, claiming that they were in and out of the relationship again.
She deleted that video after 15 minutes for good reason, because we were on and off a lot in that relationship, and there was kind of some miscommunication about where we were at in the relationship during that time period. So it was deleted for a reason. There are some things being thrown around online, like I was not making like secret accounts or something. That was like a creator account. And again, my point is, this was settled between us a long time ago. This was like a very long time ago. So, you know, settled between us a long time ago. And we're just trying to, I don't know, move forward. She doesn't want the video posted. I don't want the video posted.
Interestingly enough, Hansumfella's response to Tiara's resurfaced video is almost identical to hers. He basically said the same thing, that the situation between them had been talked out privately, that it was water under the bridge, and that it didn't need to be dragged out online years later. On the surface, that sounds reasonable enough. People grow, they make mistakes, they move on. Not every messy breakup needs to become internet court. However, a lot of people couldn't help but feel something was off about the way both of them addressed it, especially considering the pattern that was starting to show. We already know from the Haley Sharp situation that after she posted her video, Hansumfella tried to get her to take it down. He went back, called her, and essentially begged her to delete what she had said. And if we're being honest, it wouldn't be shocking if the same thing happened with Tiara back when she posted her original video 2 years ago. This kind of behavior is what a lot of people are pointing out now. He cheats, gets called out, and then tries to manipulate the situation behind the scenes to make sure his reputation stays intact. And if that's really what's happening here, it's not just a string of bad relationships, it's a pattern of behavior, one that's a lot harder to explain away. That being said, we'd like to come back to the Haley Sharp situation, because that situation is recent and it isn't being settled out privately, clearly. This is the part of the video where we would like to really get into Hansumfella's pattern of behavior that we just mentioned. For a long time after Haley Sharp posted her video, Hansumfella remained quiet about it. However, he eventually decided to come clean, and he chose the worst possible way to do it, during a live stream. He rambled for way too long about the controversy. It was a 9-minute long video in which he addressed everything. Let's watch it together.
But ultimately, I was inconsiderate and selfish when it came to Haley, and not faithful and bad to her. And yeah, there's, whether it's on the internet or not, I feel deep remorse.
Here he's saying that he doesn't care about the public perception. However, in our opinion, this is the biggest lie that he has told in this video so far. He definitely cared about what people were saying about him. If he really didn't, he would have made this video in the first place, and he definitely wouldn't have called Haley and begged her pathetically to take her video down. In our opinion, he is scared. He's twitching so bad here. He doesn't want people to hate him or not watch his videos, because that'll probably ruin his entire online career. So let's address everything one by one. First, Hansumfella said that he was still not over his previous relationship, and that he had jumped into a relationship with Haley very unfairly. He also admitted that he was at fault in his previous relationships, which definitely sounds like a major problem. Like, you pretty much messed up your last relationship, and then you went and entered another one, even though you were not emotionally available. The right thing to do in this situation would have been to tell your girlfriend, hey, I rushed into this relationship, I'm not ready for this, and we should break up. That would have been the mature, respectful thing to do. Ideally, this should have been the right way to handle things. But let's be real, Hansumfella doesn't do things the right way. So what did he do? He decided that the best course of action was to cheat on his girlfriend instead. Obviously. And to make things even worse, he picked a 19-year-old girl on his birthday while drinking, and when he was still with Haley at the time. It's honestly insane when you lay it out like that. It sounds like something out of a bad reality show. Also, let's not forget the alcohol situation. He said that he has an alcohol problem, but also made it clear that alcohol alone didn't make him cheat. He said it was all him as a person. In the video, he's acting very guilty and, in his own words, deeply remorseful. At first glance, it might seem like he's truly sorry, but when you look a little closer, that's not really the whole story.
I want to make it clear that the alcohol was not the problem. Like, I have an alcohol problem that I've been working through, and I just want to make it clear that that is not the issue. Alcohol was involved, but clearly I, myself, am the problem, and I have a lot of stuff to work through.
Yes, he was definitely sad, and he did think that he shouldn't have done it, but not because he hurt someone's feelings. It was mainly because he cared too much about what people thought of him. The guilt wasn't about Haley, it was about himself and how he was being perceived. And this was proven when Haley posted a video showing the phone call where Hansumfella asked her to take her video down. Once you listen to that full clip, you will have absolutely no doubt that he wasn't trying to make things right for her sake. He was just trying to save his own ass. Throughout the entire call, he constantly pressed on one matter and one matter only, his reputation. He feared that if the situation blew up even more, it would become too big and unrecoverable for him. It wasn't about making amends or apologizing to someone he hurt, it was about protecting his own image. And honestly, that just makes the whole thing look even worse.
You know,
Please take the video down. It's gonna ruin me. I'm begging you. I know you have no sympathy for this, and I know that's awful. I know. I completely know. I'm begging you, please take it down, because this is gonna get huge, and it's gonna be irrecoverable. Please, I'm begging you. I'm willing to do anything. Like, I will.
Honestly, it's kind of pathetic how he is begging her in this video. And what Haley said to him was spot on. He was remorseful, sure, but the first thing he did after everything was to call her and beg her to take the video down. And to be fair, we really don't blame Haley for doing what she did. However, at the same time, the fact that she recorded his call without him knowing is a little bit questionable. It's definitely kind of unethical when you think about it. But then again, she was the one who got cheated on. She had every right to talk about what happened. Maybe not exactly in the way she did here by recording without his consent, but still, she's not entirely wrong either. At the end of the day, the real issue is that he wasn't genuinely sorry. And that's what's really pissing a lot of people off. It's not even just about the cheating anymore. It's about the way he handled everything afterward, making it so obvious that he cared more about saving his own reputation than making things right with the person he hurt. To put it simply, he cares about what people think, which brings us to this next part of the video. What are people actually saying about him in this entire situation? We found a Reddit thread about this whole drama and quickly realized that while some people are holding him accountable, there are also a lot of people who think he didn't really do anything that wrong. He has a very dedicated fan base, made up of people who think he's funny, charming, and relatable, and they genuinely don't see any reason why they should stop watching him. And honestly, we don't completely disagree either. If his content is still just as good as it always was, why should the people who love his videos be forced to stop watching him? At the end of the day, some fans are able to separate the art from the artist. And in situations like this, that's honestly up to each individual person to decide. A user on Reddit said, yeah, cheating is a horrible thing to do, but I don't think we should all just stop watching and supporting him, as that's not what his content is about. I'd understand if he did something like SA, DV, or was a pedo, but honestly, this was best case scenario for how YouTubers are these days. So watch or don't if you want, but I'll keep supporting and watching, as I had no intentions of dating him if I'd had a chance anyway. Another user wrote, okay, I had to do some digging to figure out what was going on, but I think this has been blown way out of proportion. Yes, he is a serial cheater and he needs to get help. But in that phone call she leaked, he does say he's sorry a few times, so why is everyone so mad? It's honestly crazy that she took to TikTok instead of talking to him personally about their relationship. While another user commented saying, I'm still gonna watch, I'm still gonna be a subscriber. His personal life and matters like this should not reflect his content, as his content has never been about his personal life to begin with, other than his sister. People also think that Haley is being a little over-dramatic about the whole thing. One user said, imagine having your main issue in life being cheated on in your 20s. Please, I know I'm older, but this is hardly something worth witch hunting someone over. You would be hard-pressed to find anyone actively dating in their 20s who hasn't been cheated on or cheated on someone. However, some people also believe that he needs to work on himself because it does look like he's had some serious commitment issues. This is so disappointing. He needs to seriously reflect on his actions and how they affect others. After the first time he cheated on someone, you would think he'd learn not to do it again. Watching his videos, he gave off the impression that he had good values and was a decent person. Guess I was wrong. I was a fan of his content, but now I don't know what to think about him. Guess I'm no longer watching him. We also found this other Reddit thread, where a girl from Hansumfella's hometown talks about matching with him on Tinder. She wrote, okay, so this is so crazy. I've always been pretty sure I am from the same hometown as Hansumfella, but obviously didn't know for sure. Anyway, around the holidays, I actually stumbled across a Tinder account that was using his photos, and was immediately like, OMG, I should try and match with him. But then I realized that the name was not Tyler on the account. I thought this was his real name, so I figured it was a catfish account. Despite this, I swiped right just to see what happens, and we did indeed match, but we never messaged. A few days later, he either unmatched me or deleted his account. I'm assuming the latter. This could obviously still be a fluke, but I will say that the name on the profile also started with a T if it was indeed his real name. We don't know if he was really on Tinder, and even if he was he in a relationship with Haley or someone else at the time? Honestly speaking, we don't care anymore. If he could cheat twice, he could cheat a third time. There's nothing big about it. And while there are people who think he didn't do anything super wrong, a lot of people also think that he has some serious issues, which he admitted himself during a live stream. Even his friend Joe, who has appeared on his channel countless times, talked about this in one of his videos.
Shit, what happened with him? I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. He was dating this girl on TikTok named Haley for like a month or two, and he ended up like cheating on her or something, and now it's becoming a whole thing. She's rightfully mad. People want to hear my take about it. She's rightfully mad. She's rightfully, able to post that. I think her posting their private phone call between one another is over the top to a degree, just because that's, he didn't know that he was being recorded. Regardless, she's still rightfully mad because, that's that she got cheated on. Do I think Handsom's a bad guy? No. right? Do I think that he made a mistake and was a bad boyfriend? Yes, right? Like it's kind of hard for me to share my opinion because I'm not, right, a woman in that relationship that feels that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Hansumfella is a bad dude. Do I think he's a bad boyfriend? In that situation, yes, right? But that's my take, right? And I think that's a very neutral take. I think that's what everybody's saying just because what else am I going to say? You know what I mean? It's not my right to speak on their relationship. You know? What happened with them happened with them. She's rightfully mad, and that's, you know, okay. Rightfully so. But I don't know. Not to mention his name is Ian and not Tyler. I knew that prior, but that was just like a personal, like, a safety thing. You know what I mean? Because people don't like having their names out there because then people get weird and stalkery. I think that was an entirely different thing. I don't know. I think that's different, you know? I don't, that's an unimportant piece of the information. You know how many people you probably watch that's names aren't their real name? And they just say that? I don't know anybody, right? So don't be like, oh, who, right? Because I don't know anybody outside in Ian, right? But, yeah, Foxman's real name isn't Foxman. Is your real name Joe? Yes. Anyways, yeah, I mean, that's my take on it, right? Do I think that he needs to work on himself in monogamous relationships? Yeah, right? But I don't know. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad friend. I think he fucking f***ed up, right? And that's a really hurtful thing to do to somebody in a relationship. And she's rightfully mad, right? His audience is also, you know, rightfully mad to a degree. I don't think it's something where people should shame his character beyond that. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's no defending cheating, right? But at the end of the day, I can't sit there and judge him off of something that I'm not a part of at all, you know? So, yeah. I knew people were going to ask me about it because I stream with, you know, Handsome all the time, but, yeah. I'll see how it develops. I think his response was a little rushed. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I mean, that's any situation you're in where you're getting a shitload of hate, people kind of rush you to respond very quickly. And I think he had a, you know, poor response, but I think, you know, you give him some time, he'll probably come back and, you know, have a better response later on. That's usually what happens with this type. But yeah, you look like Charlie Kelly. Just be neutral. I mean, I don't want to get involved in that. You know what I mean? That's why, like, I never understand the social media where people try to loop in other streamers and people that he knows into the drama. And I'm just like, dude, I'm my own streamer, right? I've streamed with Handsome, yes. But, like, why are you looping me in on this? You know? Like, I'll give you my opinion. And that's why, like, because at the end of the day, I know you guys want to hear what I have to say. But after that, there's nothing else. You know, it's just, hey, that's what happened. That's what happened.
At the end of the day, the whole Hansumfella situation is a lot more complicated than it seems on the surface. There are a lot of people who firmly believe that just because someone is a bad boyfriend, it doesn't automatically mean that they're a bad person or a bad creator. And to be honest, they have a point. Relationships are personal. They're messy, emotional, and full of mistakes. Someone messing up badly in their relationship doesn't instantly mean that everything they've ever done professionally is now worthless. People can be flawed in their personal lives and still create amazing content, entertain millions, and have a positive impact in other ways. A lot of fans argue that Hansumfella's content should be judged separately from his personal mistakes, and they don't see why they should stop enjoying what they love because of something that doesn't affect them directly. But at the same time, we can't ignore the fact that character matters. When a creator shows repeated patterns of bad behavior, like lying, manipulating, or hurting people closest to them, it definitely leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. It makes it hard to separate the art from the artist when you start wondering if the person you're supporting is not as great as they seem on camera. It's even worse when it feels like they only show remorse because they got caught, not because they actually feel guilty. That kind of behavior does make people question whether they want to continue supporting someone who seems fake behind the scenes. On that note, we'd like to end this video now. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below to let us know what you think about this. Do you think being a bad boyfriend makes someone a bad person or a bad creator? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.